Hello everyone! This past week I had the chance to play the alpha build for Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, the next big CRPG by Owlcat, developers of two of my favorite CRPGs ever, Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. In this video, I'll let you know my initial thoughts on combat, pacing, atmosphere, lore, plot, progression systems, performance, music and sound effects. Full thoughts and impressions of the entire alpha will be given once I finish all the content it has to offer. Bear in mind, this is an alpha and its goal is to obtain player feedback so that the final version is the best product we can have. With this in mind, let's dissect the alpha, shall we? One of the biggest differences in Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader compared to previous owlcat games is the choice of turn-based combat instead of real-time with pause, or even both options. According to owlcat, the turn-based combat fits the rule set and lore better, and overall, I am okay with that. I just wish we could have gotten real-time as well. My main complaint here is really the amount of time each combat encounter normally takes. Owlcat games are normally over 200 hours longer on its harder difficulties, and by opting for turn-based combat, the game will probably be double that, which concerns me in terms of fatigue and repetitiveness starting to set in. This is fixable, and I would recommend owlcat to have an option to speed up combat, like many other turn-based combat CRPGs or RPGs have, and it would make the combat more fluid, dynamic, and overall fast. The alpha starts in Act 2, after the events of the prologue, where your predecessor, Theodora von Valancius, has died. Leaving you as the new leader of the dynasty, you have inherited her void ship, simultaneously a mighty space fortress, a cathedral, and a factory home to thousands of people, and their trade empire. The first thing you'll see in the game will be a book event screen, allowing you to select the specifics of your background. This is a temporary substitute for a proper character generation screen, which will be available later according to owlcat. Choices made here will determine your starting set of stats and skills. You can hover over any of the choices on the starting screen to go over them and choose as you want. The abilities don't seem to have the same complexity and viability as Pathfinder, but they are still interesting and make sense in the Warhammer world. Over the 7 to 8 hours I played, you are level 15, and I am unsure if you are offered any chance to level up, at least at the moment, to choose any passive or active skills. It remains to be seen, and we'll see that once I do my full thoughts. Now, combat encounters are fun and tactical. Unfortunately, some of the issues are coming from not being able to choose where to place you and your companions before an encounter starts. Couple that with initiative roles, in which you have no say since you didn't build these characters, and you can look at 1 or 2 dead companions before you even get to play. When it's working, it's great. You have grenades, weapons, melee, different skills for different classes. Some classes focus more on spells, the Psyker for example, others on command and leadership, whilst others on pure shooting and pure brawling. It's possible to see variety here already. Sounds and ability animations are already on point, showcasing what owlcat is truly master at. You have a percentage to it, as you would in XCOM, which I hate, but it doesn't seem to be as bad here, at least for now. The best I can compare Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader combat would be to Wasteland 3. For an alpha, the soundtrack and sound effects here are already among the best of CRPGs. They fit the Warhammer world so well, and I couldn't help but feel engaged and immersed in this world every time I hear some of these tracks playing. Owlcat is known for doing an amazing job with music and sound design, especially in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, but the little I've heard here in Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader already seems to surpass what we heard in Pathfinder games. Sadly, since you start the game on Act 2, you are clearly missing parts of the bigger picture when it comes to dialogue exposition with companions and your ship crew. However, the dialogue that we have here so far in Act 2 is so faithful and loyal to the Warhammer lore that it brings tears to the eyes of Warhammer fans. Don't be afraid of jumping in, even if you don't know much about it. On Alpha, owlcat has still put the work to include sort of an encyclopedia, where you can read and learn more about Warhammer 40k specific terms or designations. It has such an amazing potential, given how dark and brutal this world is, and I couldn't be more happy for a development studio to finally deliver us a proper Warhammer 40k CRPG. In general, Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader is still in a very rough state, performance is quite bad. I could get barely over 40 FPS, especially in combat, on this Unity engine. But aside from this and some obvious problems with combat, I think owlcat is heading in the right direction and Rogue Trader can turn out to be a flagship for new and improved Warhammer 40k games. Hope you enjoyed these early thoughts. I plan on making a full video on combat and companions overview, along with some tips and tricks in the upcoming weeks. Stay tuned.